So, first and foremost, what is becoming? Becoming, I think, is something. It's something that's been birthed, I think, back in 2019 to sort of just prioritize us, to prioritize ourselves and pour back into our own cups. And I remember telling my husband, oh, I wish I could go to a retreat where, it wouldn't just be about either just sleeping or just be about whatever cliche or hit things or on things that were happening at that time. I think for some weird reason in 2024, a lot of people just crashed. I remember like towards the end of 2024, a lot of people just crashed. A lot of people were just tired and overwhelmed. And it makes sense because I think we had just entered the first peak after the 2020 slump. So one of the things that we've decided to do differently this year, I know that we had our Becoming Mindfulness Retreat in 2024, which was a massive success. I genuinely was so shocked at how many people believed in me. So people have often been asking if becoming is just for females or if males are also allowed to join the community. And the answer is for both. Hi guys, my name is Nqobile and very warm welcome to the Becoming podcast. This is our very first episode of the year and our first episode in a while actually. So it's a little bit embarrassing, but at least we're here. So it's good to be back. I just thought that I'd just come on here, give a little quick life update to just share what our plans are for the year and what our thoughts are around the Becoming community. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to each and every single person that's been following us, that's been believing in us, that's been coming to our practice. I think last year really was such a great year, such a fruitful year. And I could only just thank you guys for that. Thank you for everyone who's referred a friend, for everyone who's shared our posts. You guys have really, really done the most. And because of that, we've been fully booked for a bit, which I guess the downside of that is that it took a little bit of time from podcasting, but we were 100% not complaining. I think one of my goals for this year is really to just learn balance, learn priorities, put structures and systems in place to make sure that all of the Nqobile, the person, products or projects are well prioritized accordingly. So this year, we're really, really planning to, be a bit more forthcoming with regards to the community, the Becoming community, the Becoming podcast, the events and stuff like that. So I just thought that it would be such a lovely idea to firstly just come on and just explain what is the Becoming community about. Because I've noticed that, quite a lot of people have been asking, so what's the difference between the Becoming page or the Becoming community and the practice and Nqobile, the person or the brand and. So the purpose of today's podcast is to just shed a bit of clarity and also just open up the floor to you guys. Like if you guys have any suggestions, have any questions, and just anything that you think you'd like for us to try, or things or events that you'd like for us to host and so forth. So it's never been a one-sided relationship between me and my community. So I really hope and pray that you guys will be able to just engage with us in this conversation. So first and foremost, what is becoming? Becoming, I think, is something. It's something that's been birthed, I think, back in 2019, and the face of it or the feel of it has changed as I've evolved as a person. So we started it off just as a YouTube channel, and I think if you're one of the OGs here, you probably remember COVID times, not 2019, I think 2020, 2019, 2020, COVID times, that's when our YouTube channel was birthed. And we spoke a little bit about clinical content, a little bit about lifestyle content. I'd have my husband, Mr. Mapumulo, on quite a lot as well. So that's what birthed the idea of community, of becoming. But as I grew as a person, I realized that, with life changing, baby coming, work, being busy and I realized that I was really struggling to have all of my balls in the air while still prioritizing myself. And one of the main reasons why I decided to name the podcast Becoming even from the beginning was because it was such an expression of who I am and where I was at that stage. I think I was in a season of my life where I was really feeling like, I just want to embrace the concept or the process of being, of becoming, of learning, of growing, and of coming out. So as I've evolved in the different stages of my life and the different phases of my life, I realized that, it would have been so nice to sort of come up with certain strategies and systems to facilitate that process of becoming, where even though life is busy, but I'm not necessarily losing touch with myself. And that's how I came up with the Becoming Mindfulness Retreat. It was birthed from a place of me just feeling really, really tired, really just disconnected with myself and, really just overstretched. Now, I remember asking myself and having a conversation with my husband, and how do we put systems in place in our life, both as individuals and as a couple and as a family at that time, because our son was born by then, to sort of just prioritize us, to prioritize ourselves and pour back into our own cups. And I remember telling my husband, I wish I could go to a retreat where, it wouldn't just be about either just sleeping or just be about whatever cliche or hit things or on things that were happening at that time. But I remember telling him that I wish I could attend a retreat that actually taught the importance of just being mindful and being fully aware of the self and the self's needs and, the things that the self needs to sort of get it to a place where it's functioning at its optimum best. So that's how the Becoming Mindfulness Retreat was birthed in 2024. And that's how the Becoming journal was birthed in 2024 as well. Okay, it was really coming from a place of just reflecting on my own journey, reflecting on where I am, where my friends were, where my family was, and just, I think for some weird reason in 2024, a lot of people just crashed. I remember like towards the end of 2024, a lot of people just crashed. A lot of people were just tired and overwhelmed. And it makes sense because I think we had just entered the first peak after the 2020 slump. So like work was picking up again, events were picking up again, and everything was coming, but it was coming all together and all at once. And I remember just feeling like, oof, I wish I could just hit the pause button. But also the pause button for me felt like it was not going to be enough if I didn't actively do things in that time or in that space that fed and nourished my soul and my psyche. So that's essentially what the Becoming community is about. It's about taking you guys on a journey that I have been through and that I'm currently going through. We were learning how to fill our cups. We were learning how to be mindful. We were learning how to be aware of ourselves. We were learning how to check in on ourselves. We're placing things or systems in our lives and strategies in our lives and creating a community of accountability where there's people that can walk the journey with you, where there's people that can share in vulnerable, safe spaces, the things that sometimes hinder our ability to show up as best for ourselves as we do for those that are around us. Hi guys, I am interrupting this episode just to give a very massive shout out to Creative Replay, which sponsored this full video. Not just this video, but our full content as the Becoming and as the Nqobile psychologist team. So I definitely had the desire to grow the practice and to just grow the community, but my issue with that was that I was a psychologist full-time, I'm a mom full-time as well, so I really just didn't have the time, the capacity, the resources, and I needed a team of trustworthy people that would make me comfortable, that would make the process easy for me, that would meet me where I am, that would be convenient, to sort of help me package my whole social media strategy, which they cover the Becoming community, they cover Nqobile, the brand, and the practice brand as well. So they've been absolutely amazing. We've been working with them consistently now for over 5 years. Their team is made up of people that are really professional. They treat you so well. They treat you so well. They make you feel comfortable. I'm a very awkward person, but I'd be lying to you if I said that there's ever been a time where I've been made to feel uncomfortable. So if you are a person who's looking to grow their community, and another thing as well, the practice grew by over 100% ever since I started using Creative Replay and their content. So if you're a person that's in a position that I'm in, where you're busy and you want to grow, but you don't have the capacity or the tools for it, please make sure that you reach out to Creative Replay. Thank you so much. So one of the things that we've decided to do differently this year, I know that we had our Becoming Mindfulness Retreat in 2024, which was a massive success. I genuinely was so shocked at how many people believed in me, and that were willing to fork out their financial investments, just come spend the weekend with me and my family and learn how to be mindful and learn how to be there for themselves. So what we've decided to do differently this year is that, because we realize that not everyone has either the capacity in terms of time or finances or logistics to join us for a full weekend, we've decided to host a lot of mini mindfulness events this year, one-day events. We'll be sharing more about those in our page on what to expect and what's coming when. But it would really be lovely to sort of just join the community, meet like-minded people, share ideas, and just help grow together, help us learn how to become together. And unfortunately, we also had to postpone our Becoming 2025 retreat, again, because the focus for this year is just on sort of just nurturing the community, getting people used to the idea of mindfulness, getting people used to each other as well, so that by the time we have our mindfulness retreat again towards the latter end of towards the later end of this year, at least people are sort of like within the flow and understand what it's about and so forth. So you are definitely encouraged to join the waitlist. Also, just hop onto our Becoming page on socials, because that's where we're going to be posting all of our upcoming mini events. We're trying to have one soon, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, so keep your eyes and your ears peeled. But it's going to be in Durban. It's not going to be a weekend experience. It's just going to be a part-day experience. So everyone is welcome to come and join in and just witness the fun and grow the movement or the community with me and my family. So people have often been asking if Becoming is just for females or if males are also allowed to join the community. And the answer is for both. The Becoming movement or the Becoming community rather is basically for someone who's feeling like, listen, I'm pouring too much of myself onto everything and everyone else, and I just want to learn how to just take a break and just prioritize myself and have people that can hold me accountable on that journey. So if that's you, then you're a 100% valid member of the Becoming community. And the overall vision for the Becoming movement / community is that we're really hoping to just birth a community of people that are just aware of themselves, and I think I've elaborated on that quite a lot. But also host conferences and take it on a national level, on an international level. We're trying to have Becoming merch this year. We're wanting to grow the podcast, get people from different areas of expertise, different walks of life, to share their sort of their input on the process or the journey of becoming and the journey of mindfulness. So we're really trying to take it big. We're really, really trying to grow it. And I think it always comes from, if you've been following me for a long time, you'll know that one of the things that I stand by is that the world would be a much better place if mental health really mattered. So the Becoming is an extension of that. It's an extension of making people aware that they matter, man, and that everything that you do is an extension of you. So if you're not taking care of the source, if you're not taking care of the roots, then it affects everything else. So if you want to show up better as parents, as colleagues, as friends, as partners, or as just people, we have to first start by learning how to show up better for ourselves. So the emphasis of this whole movement is to just take it back to the self, and we're trying to broaden how we do that. We're really being limitless this year. We're really being militant this year as well, if that makes sense. But the whole purpose of it is just prioritizing you, the person. Another question that we've been getting is, why are we calling the community Becoming 12-2? And I understand. So I'm just going to go into the reasoning behind that. So the reason why we decided to call the community Becoming 12-2 is because it's actually founded on the scripture of Romans 12 verse 2, which reads as follows in the New King James Version: "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." And to me, it really just speaks about changing the way in which we see. And changing the way in which we see means changing the way in which we think. So if we place systems to help us change the way in which we see and think about ourselves, then we're able to tap into what's God's true intent and purpose for our lives. So yep, that's from me for today. I'm looking forward to seeing each and every single one of you, bombard our pages with follows. And I'm just excited to also meet every one of you at our events. But that's an extension of me from this year. That's my gift that I'm promising you, from me to you for this year. And I'm excited, I'm expectant, and I can't wait to rock with you guys. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to Creative Replay for always making sure that our quality looks absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.